Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Rusty McCranie. Welcome to Weather Express, your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, once again, we're going to have areas of severe weather developing across the country today. We also have a changing forecast over the next few days as well. We'll get started with what's been happening in the plains. We have a deep area of low pressure coming off of the Intermountain West, Wyoming, the eastern sides of Colorado. It's already kicked out some thunderstorm activity from portions of the Dakotas back to Nebraska and the eastern sides of Kansas, but developing closer to that low later in the day will be a better chance for severe weather along this warm front, which is situated over central Oklahoma right now, including the Oklahoma City metro area. So again, from that area of low pressure back into Oklahoma and the panhandle of Texas, slight risk of severe storms, 2 out of 5 on the SPC scale. A marginal risk surrounds that. Main threat is going to be winds of over 70 miles an hour and some 2 to 3 inch size hail, but isolated tornado risk will come along for the ride. At this point in time, we have one watch. It is a severe thunderstorm watch. Again, for more than anything, the opportunity for some pretty large hail to develop here just east of the Denver area. Notice that the max hail size is 3 inches, so up to baseball size hail. Current thunderstorms with warnings look like this. We've got a couple on the southern flank of that towards the Tulsa area of Oklahoma. The red polygons are going to be your severe thunderstorm warnings at this point in time. No tornadic activity, but eventually, again, everything's going to kind of fill in a little bit later in the day. We'll talk more about the severe weather risk staying in the plains coming up. It has been a cold, wet day in the Northeast and New England. Temperatures way below average for this time of the year. 40s and 50s outside, rain in Boston, rain in New York City, towards Philadelphia, back towards D.C., the eastern sides of the Ohio Valley as well, the eastern Great Lakes. Just a relatively cold, kind of honestly crummy day more than anything. Enhanced satellite imagery will show you again that wrapped up area of low pressure and where those thicker clouds are. There is some better weather coming over the next couple of days for the Northeast. We're going to be clearing out. It's extremely hot, especially down into Florida today with temperatures well in the 90s. We're seeing some isolated severe thunderstorms beginning to develop here down towards the Miami area, especially across I-95. There's not going to be a severe thunderstorm watch for this area, but still some locally heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning will accompany some of those storms with temperatures again well into the 90s outside of where the stormy active weather is. We'll move up into the northern plains, and again, some of this activity will get into the western Great Lakes and portions of the upper Midwest, but again, more concerned about the southern plains for the opportunity for severe storms. You know, out west, the big story is the building heat dome back into portions of the Four Corners with an area of high pressure, which is keeping things very hot and also very windy. These are your wind gusts in miles an hour right now. There's a lot of areas where the winds have been 20, 30, even 35 miles an hour, but the West Coast has been relatively quiet lately. We are going to get another storm system moving back into the far northern side of the Pacific Northwest towards Washington State with some rain coming back in towards the Seattle area. But generally speaking, it's more about the wind than anything else along the West Coast. Those are all going to be small craft advisories for the West Coast. So again, we have our severe weather potential here. Still could have a flood threat in portions of Arklatex in the Mid-South. And it is cold enough with some frost advisories right now for the western Great Lakes. All right, so let's break down the forecast over the next couple of days. I'm going to bring up the HRRR model. It's our high resolution rapid refresh, really high resolution model here. By the way, again, if you see an icon that for tropical system, that's just a test from one of the National Weather Services that my weather computer picks up on. We're going to really focus in on the central and the southern plains for waves of severe weather in the coming days through this Memorial Day weekend. Thunderstorms coming off of the Intermountain West with a lot of energy with them, diving to the south and to the east. And kind of each day through Memorial Day, the thunderstorm activity will build a little bit farther south and east. So starting off in Nebraska and Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, and moving into Missouri, and Arkansas, and portions of the Tennessee Valley, and eventually even a little bit farther towards the south and to the east. Every afternoon will promote the opportunity for some severe storms. Strong straight line winds, the main threat here, 70+ mile an hour winds, but again, large hail, especially in the plain states, and some opportunities for some isolated tornadic activity. Now in the Northeast, as I mentioned, better weather is coming. Eventually this low will spin far enough to the north and get out of the way, where we'll be just left with some lingering showers. It's still going to be on the cooler side in the Northeast, and actually behind all of this severe weather, we could see some cooler weather coming back into the eastern half of the United States in general, outside of the deep south. Again, relatively quiet conditions as far as rain goes out west, some wind, but it's going to be the Intermountain West towards the Plain States for the best opportunity for storms. Severe weather risk for tomorrow looks like this, about the same spots, right? I promise you this is today's risk. Here's tomorrow's risk right there, a little bit farther to the south and to the east, right? Back into Arkansas, portions of Missouri and Alabama. And then for Sunday, it stays about the same. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and even back into the southwest sides of Tennessee. Looking at the overall temperature outlook over the next 6 to 10 days, again, cold, where all this rain is through the Northeast, hot in Florida, and where it's been dry out west, the heat really builds, and that will be a big story here for the coming week ahead. Friends, I'm out of time. Appreciate you making Weather Express a part of your daily routine. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, liking this video. You have a specific question about the forecast, or you want to let me know where you're viewing from, I appreciate that in the comments section below. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm back tomorrow with the latest 5-minute forecast.